In this video, I'll show you how to use the Shear tool in Blender. And the Shear tool can be really useful for interior modeling, so things like a window frame or a picture frame, or the trim on the bottom of a wall in an interior scene. And so for an example scene, I'm going to be using the project files of my realistic kitchen interior tutorial series. So if you want to check out that course, then I'll have the links to the product pages in the description. So in the scene, I've modeled this little basic profile shape, but it doesn't actually have any visible faces. And so you can see over here on this side, I've used it to create that trim there on the bottom wall. Now why the Shear tool is really useful in this case is because I'm going to go into edit mode of this trim and I'll hit E to extrude and I'm going to bring it out on the Y axis and I'm going to bring it all the way over here. But I want to extrude the trim and have it go over in this direction on this bar here. So if I go into edit mode, I could bring this over and I could try to rotate it and then rotate it on the Z axis like that, but basically what it's going to do is squish it down. So you can see it's basically squishing it like that, so it's not really correct or it's not really accurate. And then I can try to extrude this out like that, but you can see now this is angled, so I have to maybe scale it on the x-axis by 0. So it's just kind of finicky and it actually kind of warps the shape a little bit. So this is where the Shear tool is really helpful. So if you hit the T key to open up the side panel, you can click and drag and open this up, and there actually is a Shear tool right here. So I can click on Shear, and when you do that, now you can see there's going to be this gizmo here, and to preview the gizmo, make sure you click on this button to see the gizmo. So now what I can do is I can click here on these little tabs here, and I can shear it in different directions. And so what's really useful about the Shear tool is it's basically going to offset the vertices without actually scaling it or messing it up. So let's say that I want to shear this kind of like this in 45 degrees so that it kind of offsets the vertices without actually scaling this or flattening it. What I could do is just click on this little dark blue one right here and click and drag, and you can see what the shear is doing is it's kind of offsetting the vertices and moving them over, but it's not actually scaling the shape of the mesh. So it's not scaling the thickness. So I can just move this over right there, and then I can hit E to extrude and I can extrude that out. So now you can see that's a much better shape. Now I personally find these gizmos a little bit finicky, so I like to use the shortcut key instead. So I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that. So what I'm going to do is click on this little button here to hide the gizmos, because I actually don't really want to use the gizmo, and I'll drag this right here. So what I can do is press F3 for the search, and I can search for shear, or you can use the shortcut of Shift Control Alt S. So it's kind of a big shortcut, but Shift Control Alt S. And now you can see we've activated the Shear tool. I can't really control which direction right now, but what I can do is hit Z or X or Y, but it's still not really working correctly, so I'm just going to hit Control Z to undo that. So I'm going to hit 7 on the numpad to go to top view, hold down Z, and move my mouse into wireframe. So now I'll do the same thing. So Shift Control Alt S to use the Shear tool, and then in this case I want to hit Y. So when I hit Y, now you can see it's shearing back and forth, and again you can see it's not scaling it, but it's offsetting the vertices. Now you might be wondering how to get it exactly by 45 degrees. Well, if you look up here on the shear right there on the top, you can see I can drag it until it's negative 45 degrees, but there's actually a lot easier way to do that. If you just type in 1, you can see it's going to move it over by exactly 45 degrees, but it's going in the opposite direction because I don't want to extrude it out in that direction. I want to extrude it back this way. So I'm going to hit -1, and then I'll hit Enter. So now I can go back to solid view, and you can see if I just move this over, we've sheared it by 45 degrees in this direction. So now I can just hit E to extrude and extrude over on the x-axis, and then I could scale the selection on the x-axis by 0 like that, just to flatten it and move that over there. And then I can just use the object context menu, and in this case I'll just use the shade auto smooth. So that's where the Shear tool can be really useful. So instead of stretching or warping the vertices, you can just easily shear that. So as you can see, this is really useful for maybe a door trim or the trim on the bottom here on the wall. So that's how to use the Shear tool. So I hope you found this video helpful, and thank you for watching. And if you found this useful and you'd like to learn more about interior modeling, then you can definitely check out my full course on creating this realistic kitchen interior. So if you'd like to check out the course, then I'll have the product pages linked in the video description. And before I end this video, here's a quick video about the course. In this Blender course, I will teach you photorealistic interior creation in Blender. So throughout this tutorial series, I'll show you the entire process of creating this realistic kitchen interior scene. So what will you learn in this course? You'll learn how to model to the real life world scale, how to block out interior scenes, you'll learn interior modeling like windows, cabinets, and countertops, you'll learn how to set up texture maps and edit the UV maps. You'll learn how to create basic procedural materials like brick, plastic and metal, how to add surface imperfections to objects to add realism, how to add decals to objects within the materials, using multiple UV maps to place textures, decals, and surface imperfections. You'll learn furniture modeling like bar stools, an oven, a fridge, a microwave, and more. You'll learn object and prop modeling like mugs, plates, vases, switches, and more. And we'll be going over some compositing effects to add more realism to your render. And you can find the links to the course in the video description.